Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament, and I'm reading 1 Corinthians up to chapter 6, verse 12. Panta moi exesti al upanta sumfere, panta moi exesti al uk ego ex uthias desamai hupotinos, to bromata te koilia, kai he koilia tois bromasi. Hodetheos kai tautein kai tauta kat argese. Todesoma ute ponea ala to kurio. Kai hokurios to somati. Hodetheos kai ton kurion egeren. Kai humas egere. So ex egere dia tes dunamios autu. I'll just pause there with that. So exesti is that impersonal verb. It is lawful, it is allowable, and the subject here is actually panta. All things are lawful for me. Al u panta sumfere, another impersonal verb, but not all things are expedient, perhaps useful. So all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. All things are lawful for me, al uk ego, but I. Now this verb here is from ex usiasdo, and this is a future passive here. In Luke it's taken to mean to exercise authority. Here it's got more of the sense of to master or enslave, and it's in the passive. So I will not be mastered, I will not be enslaved, hupotinos. Well, it's either by anything or anyone, probably by anything, I think, in the context. Tabromata, this is a plural from broma. As I mentioned before, it's cognate with our word bromine. It simply means food, and it's derived from the verb bibrosko, an old me verb meaning to eat. So ta bromata, food, plural for singular, and there's no verb in the sentence, so supply is. Te koilia is for the belly, literally the hollow place. It's but koilia comes to mean the belly. We get it here, this feminine noun. So food is for the belly, and the belly for the food. This is the dative plural from the broma. Hodetheos, and God, kat argese, this is that very common verb with Paul. It's kata plus the alpha privative plus the erg root, so will nullify, so will make useless both this, that is the koilia, the stomach, and tauta, that is the food. We get a nice chiasmus here where we've had as we had here, but we get a nice chiasmus with the first bit. So the tauta goes with the bromata and the tautein with the koilia. So it's almost God will do away with, will make redundant both this and the belly and the food. Todesoma ute poinea, and the body is not for porneia, for prostitution, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. Hodetheos, I did read this bit, so for God raised the Lord, and you've got the article here, so it's referring, of course, to Jesus, but with the article, which is note here. So God raised the Lord, and this is a future from ex egero. You get a vowel gradation here, and you get a contract here. So it's from ex egero, to raise up, and will raise us, well, out literally. So raise us up, dia tes dunamios autu, through his power. Uk oidati hoti ta somata humon mele Christu esti. Aras ta mele tu Christu poieso pornes mele. Me genoito, uk oidity hoti hoc kalomenos te porne hen soma esti. All these rhetorical questions. Paul is very fond of these. Esontai ga facin hoi duo eis sarkamian. Hode kolomenos ter kuriou hen pneuma esti. Fugete ten pornean. Pan hamatema ho ian poiesi anthropos ektos tu somatos estin, hode pornuen e to idion soma hamatane. I'll just pause it there. Another rhetorical question. Do you not know that your bodies, plural, and neuter plural subject singular verb are, mele is a plural from melos, it's a third declension neuter noun, top melos. It means members, so bits and pieces or members, so in the sense of arms and legs and things. So do you know that your bodies are members of Christ or of the Messiah? Therefore, aras, this is aorist participle from iro, having taken up the members of Christ, shall, this is it's a question, so will I make them members of a prostitute? So in other words, will I join them to a prostitute? Me genoito, Paul's favourite expression, and one of the rare uses of the optative in Paul. So may it not be, optative from ginomai. Or do you not know that ho kolomenos, now this is from kolao, it's actually cognate I think with the word collage which we get via the French. It means to glue or to stick together or to join here. So do you not know that the one joining or with the prostitute is one body? For faci is this from fami, it's the third person singular, for he says, and presumably the subject here is God, for he says the two esontai will become into one flesh. It might be it says in the sense of the Old Testament, and the quotation here is from Genesis 2:24. Hode kolomenos, and the one attaching himself to the Lord is one spirit. Fugete, will flee from, avoid, ten pornean, prostitution. Pan hematema, for every sin which, now this is this funny use of e'an for an here, so every sin which a man might do is ektos, this is one of these pseudo prepositions that takes a genitive meaning outside of the body. So it has the sense of every sin which anyone does, which a man does, is connected with things outside of the body. Hode pornuon, but the one pornuon engaging in prostitution sins with regard to to idion soma, with regard to his own body. Or do you not know that your body, so I didn't read this bit out, did I? So a uk unite oidity hoti tosoma hemona ostu en hemin hagiu pneumatos estin hu ekete apotheu. Kai uk, and the next page is esti he auton. So, or do you not know that the body of you is a temple, a naos, a shrine, and the two goes with the pneumatos. So of the Holy Spirit, which is among you. It could mean in you or among you. N often has that use of sense of among, especially in the plural here. Now the who is a relative pronoun. It's been attracted into the genitive because its antecedent is genitive. So it's not taking its case from its own clause, it's just attracted into the genitive by its antecedent. So the Holy Spirit which you have from God. Kai uk este he auton, and you are not of yourselves, that is, you do not belong to yourselves. Agorasete gar timas. This is from agorazdo. This is an aorist passive. So you have been bought, for you have been bought, times, sometimes called a genitive of price, and this time does mean a price. So you have been bought for a price. Doxati de ton theon ento somati humon. Then, glorify then, that's an emphatic day here, God, in your body. And that's a plural here in this variant reading, but he is referring to all the people he's writing to. So glorify then God in your body. And that's the end of chapter 6.